Who has their game audio in the mic?
Yeah, I muted. It was Brahms.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Mute up. Cubo, that goes for you too. Alright, Cubo just goes unmuted then. That's fine. Right. Recording's on. Let's go. Won't be any audio on my part, but Goose should be good on that one.
You're not recording, right? I thought.
I am recording. Yes, I just can't
Okay.
record. I'm muted because I can't have Discord open at the same time because that'll just crash everything.
Okay.
So I do record, but without like commentator audio.
Come on, let's go.
Right. Can't wait for this to become a big thing.
It is dry quali.
Sick. Let's go.
Dirty quali.
Pretty quality. We just put
Okay.
dirt on the middle of the track, like put the gravel just on the track. We did the slowest lap ever. Right, let's go.
Well, welcome to the 7th race of the 11th season of Sunday League in UR2D. I'm Gay Mongoose, joined today by Hat Menica in the booth.
Hello.
Checking out Nandy right now, LSA sitting in 3rd place in the constructors' standings. They are quite a ways back of the leaders, Mayhem Racing. 246 points Mayhem has, led by Danny and Buddha. But Nuno leads the constructors, or the drivers, by a margin of 30 points over Danimator and Buddha, who sit 2-3, and Andy is in 4th place. Let's see how the first laps go. Nuno's by in pole for now. His provisional pole, he only has one of them so far this year. Nobody has more than one pole this season. Nuno's got it by just 300s over Buddha for now. Any favorites in your books this week, Het? Who are you liking?
I haven't really followed the Battle of the Top. I only know that Suist said that he enjoys this track a lot, which I think that sentiment isn't shared by a lot of people. I think Nuno, Antti, a lot of those big guys didn't really like this track at the first few times, so that's good for him, I guess. But I don't know. I haven't really followed the top.
Yeah, there's not a lot of lovers of this track. This is our, of course, second Danimator track in a row, having gone last week in Central Park, where on the opposite side of the globe, on the southern hemisphere, in Brazil, Circuito de Cristais, the Brazilian Grand Prix. Grandy comes across in 6th, and Nandy grabs the pole with a 31.3. Beats Nuno by half a tenth. Buddha's right there behind him, sticking that first lap time with Nuno in 3rd place, and it's going to be a double Mayhem second row with Danimator in 4th. Corvid qualifying in 5th for Fox and Goose Racing after Jaruni's FGR podium last week. That's a really good start for FGR. Again, Grandy, 6th position for Nordic Thunder. Sobel, a good quality comparatively to the rest of his results this season, in 7th, the 31.63, and then we have both British aerials. I stole these words coming in to replace Jake after we saw him have to bow out for the rest of the season, and Pamushas in 9th. Nomskar rounding out the top 10 for Flow Force. Not as much practice this week as he would have liked. Kraft with an excellent qualifying for Lynx, his new full-time seat, and home 31.88 in 11th. Cato in 12th for Rapid Motorsport Collective. Jaruni down in 13th, a fall from his grace of the podium last week. He'll have to work hard to get it back. And Cubo down around 14th. He'd definitely like to be a little bit higher than that. Yerson 15th, sharing the same sentiment. An emergency reserve, Mark Andres, in for the Anti-Amazing. Sadly, after 77 races, Anti-Amazing wins his first race in 77 attempts. He held the record for most races attended, and he could not be here today. Connection faltered. The streak is over, but what a way to end it. Suasid and Gwetzli rounding out the top. The bottom, I should say. We have a wet track to start. It is drying, it is cloudy. Some on the inters, Grandy and Andrews on the wets, and Gwetzli and I Stole These Words go for the hards. What an exciting, interesting start to this race. And Andy getting slipstreamed by Buddha, and he's going to look to go into the lead of the race, and he's double passed. Danameter leads. Nuno follows. Big incidents at the back.
Aisto and Gwetzli, of course, are now driving solo at the back. I think Aisto got just killed in turn 1.
Of course, the hard drivers with no grip.
Yeah. For the rest, big battle here. 3 wide for Grandy, Suist, and Kado. I just caught that one. So yeah, exciting battling going on at the back.
Nomskar's jumped all the way up into 6th place. What a great start for him. He's chasing down Corvid now. All the inter drivers have passed the wet drivers except for Juruni and Suasid. Grandy now slipping back. It looks like it's going to be about 2 laps of a penalty for Gwetzli, and I Stole These Words. I don't know if it's going to be enough to give them an advantage. The sun comes out now. That will help their cause as the drivers go in. Corvid staying out on the intermediates. That's going to be a big mistake.
Oh, Pimu.
Oh.
Pimu missed the pits.
Pamushis misses the pit, has to go for a lap on the inters. That's going to be devastating for the BAR. Oh my goodness. Kubo up into 2nd place, also on the inters, taking an extra lap. That's probably going to hurt him time-wise. Pamushis not... Oh, in an incident. Nuno, Buddha, Pamushis off the track. Nomskar sliding right up past everyone, taking advantage of all the chaos on the track. We're going to have to take a breather and sort out all these positions once the last of the tires get put on. Now, our original... Buddha and Nomskar. Big, bad crash. Grandy sneaks in to get around them. Kato's into the wall. And Urist and Kato in a little bit of a lag rocket. Finally, Kibu and Pamushis get their tires off as the rest of the group goes by.
May I point out, Gwetzli running in 5th with that risky... after that risky start on the hard tires. It seems to really have paid off.
Himself and I Stole These Words, I believe, were the 2 drivers that did so. I Stole is sitting in 11th place, so not bad for him. Danameter comfortably in the lead. Nuno slipstreaming and Andy makes a small mistake, might be able to get by him there. And let's go back through the order and see where we sit. We've got Sobel somewhat comfortably in 4th as Nuno tries to catch Nandy. Corvid 5th. Then we have Buddha and Gwetzli on the tire strategy call. Kato after a crash recovery, and Kraft sitting in amazing 9th place as he goes by Kato and Gwetzli on mistakes. He's up into 7th. Kato another mistake off the track. Grandy, Urist, I Stole These Words, Jaruni, Nomskar all past Kato. He's dropped a huge number of places in this last lap. Kibo hanging around there after his lap on the intermediates. Not a great result for him, 13th. Something must have happened to Pamushis after his pit stop, as he's sitting in last place. Pet, what do we think so far? Nandy leads past Animator in the meantime.
It's really fun to see very relatively new drivers to the scene. Gwetzli and Kraft battling it out for 7th right now. I think that's pretty cool to see. People that are usually not at the front battling it out for such a high spot in the midfield.
I don't think we've seen 2 drivers with such little experiences of recent times be so high up in the rankings without a flashback to Suasid and Kraft in Copenhagen last season. But we have a little touch of lag.
Oh,
the clouds are going to be gone.
Like 4 wide at Kubo, Jeru, Aisto, and Randy in the middle sector there. That didn't go well.
Yes, quite an interesting pack here. Kraft and Gwetzli lead the pack, then Urist in 9th, who's done an amazing job to get up to where he is now, and then, of course, scrapping for the leftovers in that final top 10 position, Druni, Kibo, I Stole These Words. Nuno now looking to get by Nandy, just in time to catch that slipstream pass, but he makes a mistake as well. There are so many spots to make a mistake on this technical track, and Danameter enjoying the fruits of his labors on his homemade course, out in the lead right now. Buddha.
Big crash there as Kato makes a little mistake. touches Suist, and Suist just unfortunately sends more to the grass or sand.
Cato's all over the track. He has gone off the track. He's been in the sand more than I've seen him on the pavement. Actually, having a horrible race there. Girouni falling back again, but we've got Guetzli sliding back down the order, but Kraft holding strong, and the Lynx racing double 8-9. You don't see them up there very often, but man, the LYR's having a banger. Kraft peels into the pits. Kubo and Girouni following Urist.
Did you also have black spike there?
No, I did not. No.
I had a little black spike.
We seem to be A-OK on the main stream.
Oh, what happened there?
Nuno catching Danimator.
There. Guetzli was battling Nomskar for 10th, but Nomskar seemed to make a little mistake, and Guetzli got a penalty for it. That's a shame.
Pulled ahead of him since. Girouni has peeled out of that action. Sobel down in 8th, slipstreaming Kubo and Urist. It's been quite the interesting career for Sobel. Lots of progression, lots of falls, wins, disappointing finishes. He's basically had the taste of everything except being a back marker. And he's running in a very impressive 6th place at the moment. Nuno really getting close to Danimator in the lead. In the meantime, we check up at the front of the pack and they head into their 12th of 47 laps. They are on worn hard tires. You will see them pitting soon. Will they match each other's strategy? It will be impossible to do it on purpose for Nuno. He will be so close behind Danimator.
I'm having a lot of spike. I'm having a lot of lag spikes right now.
We seem to be smooth on the main stream.
Oh, that's weird. There must be something on my end there then.
Rain is
coming.
Watch out with that. Anyone losing out big on the rain? I think Corvid's going to be a big loser on that. He just changed onto fresh mediums.
The bars as well.
Nandy stays out.
I think the bar cars also did that. Running 17th and 15th. I mean, Jake, it's so nice of you to overtake my duties as being team principal for the cars in last. I appreciate that.
Look at this. Pamushis is still out on the hards.
So is Ice.
He's got to gamble. He's got to gamble.
Both bars went for it.
Guetzli.
It's interesting to see both the backmarker teams in Lynx and SCP are having a really good race. Sue is running in 9th even on the hards, but he is running. Okay, there we go. That's not ideal. But also the Lynx racing cars. I think like this would for both of those teams would have been their best results in a while. Are they to keep these positions?
Yeah, it's been quite incredible and impressive actually for both of those cars at the expense of Girouni and Corvid for FGR. Pamushis and I stole these words for BAR. Swasset unfortunately staying out on those hards. He's going to lose a lot of time. He's back in his 17th now, but also at the expense of Cato, who's in last place.
I really seem to be having an issue because I'm getting a lot of lag spikes here. That's weird. Need to have a look out for that then.
Well, our viewers at home don't need to hear any more of that. We can just concentrate on the lead. Danimator now passed by Nuno, just right in his slipstream still. Nuno's coming in to get off the tires. The clouds have seceded. Rain is gone. And Buddha is back into 3rd. And Andy running 4th. 5 seconds ahead of Sobel, who's now in 5th. And Urist and Kubo kind of taken into the wall a bit hard there. But incredibly, Urist sitting in P6. A benefactor of the rain for once. A common complainant of how the rain affects his races. Randy is going to be just behind Guetzli, lets him go, and Corvid and Girouni begin the long climb back up the track, but they don't start their ascent before messing up each other by taking each other out neatly as a team, as they should. Nuno still leading Danimator, 0.23 seconds. 0.15 Danimator goes outside. It's not a very good spot to pass there, but he'll get it done on the exit, and he's got the lead back. Nuno's going to go for a switchback. They catch a little bit of sand. That's going to allow Buddha to get a little bit closer. Now, do we think Buddha has the chops to climb back into this race if these guys continue to battle each other up front? Kubo catching Nomskar. Urist leading them both. still in P6 for Urus. He's going to get passed by Nomskar here. No, he defends nicely, but Kubo is going to get by Nomskar as Nomskar to peel out into the sand. Makes a small mistake. Granny cuts the corner a little bit, and looks like we've got a dead heat here almost as Nuno's back past Animator, and Buddha is catching them. He definitely is closing the gap. They are battling and losing some time.
Big battle also going on for 9th place between Corvid, Guetzli, and Grandy. They're slowly catching the pack ahead, I think.
Indeed
but
they are.
It's a really good battle. I think all three of them have been the leading one of it in the last lap even. Great battling on their part.
Nuno starts to pull away from Danimator a bit, so we can focus in on these other races for a bit. Urus, Nomskar, Kubo, then Guetzli, Corvid, Grandy. Great pairing of racers here. And a little bit further back in the action, Pamush is still riding in dead last. I don't know what is going on in this BAR. Him and Kato. What a strange order we've seen here. I told these words having an unfortunate race as well, but you'd expect him to be down there. Suasid sitting in 13th, benefiting from the mistakes of the other drivers. And then we have Kraft still running solid, 13th, Jiruni, Guetzli now down into 11th. Ahead of him is Grandy, and Corvid's working his way back up the order now. He's made it a four-way fight.
Let's see what's happening.
Corvid makes a mistake. Urst is still ahead of Nomskar and Kubo, incredibly defending off both of these Flow Force drivers, tag teaming them. Nomskar lets Kubo take a stint as his mediums are starting to wear off. Corvid by him. Kubo catches a little grass, but he's got a chance to go for the pass on Urist.
May I also point out that we are currently finding ourselves in an RMC sandwich with Nuno in first and Kato in last.
That's the largest sandwich there can be on the track. Fantastic observation. A myriad of toppings in that sandwich right now. But the first layer is a double layer of mayhem lettuce. Nuno's got two of the MAY drivers in his rearview mirrors, but not for long. Danimator retakes the lead. Kubo is by Urist. Corvid looking to get by him as well. Urist has semi-worn hards, as does Kubo. Corvid's mediums are a little bit more worn, but he does have the skill to keep up that slipstream, and he's going to stay out there with him. Nuno's still ahead of Buddha now. Danimator must have made a big mistake there, because Nuno has the lead over Buddha now. Urus continues to chase down Kubo. And in the midst of all this, Nandy's just cruising his own race in 4th position. It's now a race between Danny and Buddha for 2nd. And Sobel and Nomskar in a bit of a hunt as Nomskar just peels off into the pits. Sobel will take charge of P8, going by Corvid as he's pitting. Urist and Kubo still extending those hard tires. They will have to pit soon, and it will be interesting to see if the undercut from Corvid worked or not. Sobel will be catching them rapidly. Nomskar in 12th position. Pamushis has caught back up after being in dead last. He is making his way through the grid quite quickly, and he'll have a bit of a slipstream advantage on Nomskar to try and stretch those mediums a little bit longer. It would be smart for him to take another lap. Yep, and he will. And try and extend the length of those tires. Suasid will have to come in for his hards. And Danimator and Buddha switch positions. That's because Danimator has taken a pit stop. So Buddha and Nuno going an extra lap on the hards. Nandy now in 3rd place momentarily. And Danimator takes the soft, so he's going to try and make up a little bit of time here.
Big battle here. Big battle here between both Swiss pits, but still Guetzli versus Jiruni for 13th place. Big battle going on
side by side. Wow. and they do a couple switchbacks. They're racing quite cleanly against each other. Rooney used to have some pain issues, but he's been fairly good as far as I know, so pretty easy for them to remain clean. Nomskar still trying to work his way into that top 10. He's got 9th now, but Urist has the tire advantage. It will be very interesting to see if he can return ahead of him. Right now, Danimator will be ahead of Nandy, obviously. He had worn tires and has to go in, and now he's ahead of Buddha as well. But Nuno's got the fresh tires. Danimator's got a little bit more worn softs, but he should be able to catch him between now and the time that they wear out. Nuno's made a mistake, and Danimator's wrapping easily around the outside of that big hairpin in the middle of the track, and he's got the lead back. The lead exchange has been fierce this race. I do not envy Kubo's job of laps led for this task. Afterwards, Mart running last. It is a three-way fight in the doghouse right now. It's very close. Suwasid chasing down Pramusha still, who's not made that much time up. And man, great battles here in the back of the pack. Something to observe at least. Danimator stretching over a second ahead of Nuno now, and then Urist and Nomskar still in a dogfight. This is a very, very interesting race. Urist performing well this season, much better in this race than he has done with others, but that mistake will cost him a spot. And Nomskar not having practiced very much, a little bit out of shape for this race. That has bridged the gap between these two drivers, allowing Urist to keep up with a driver such as two-time champion Nomskar.
There's also an amazing battle going on for 16th. Mart just seems to be falling off a little bit, as he does. He does that quite often. Between Kato, Isto, and Mart. Nope.
Ooh, Jiruni and Kraft take a hard lag rocket into the wall, and they're off the track. Kraft is way off the track. We're having a lag spike. This could be dangerous. We are experiencing
this one isn't just me?
lots of lag.
We're back? Are we not? That's not good.
Not on my screen. We are not back yet. Drivers are
No, I'm not
everywhere
here either.
momentarily. Hopefully
That
it
ain't
will resolve.
I
Doesn't look good.
I am not recording next time. Oh no! He just moved the cranes! The cranes!
Everyone is everywhere.
This isn't good.
I don't suspect we'll make it through this one.
I am
It
quickly
is
turning
a-
off my recording.
Yellow flag, a red flag on the play.
I have shut off my recording just in case it isn't. That isn't worth it.
Yep.
Ah, shit.
And we are red flag.
Fuck. Alright, is the order correct?
Course of action.
Right.
We're good?
Mute up everyone that isn't commentating. Let's go.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thanks.
And after a red flagged race after 31 laps, we are restarting a 24 lap sprint here at Circuito de Cristais. I'm here with Het Menica. It's Game on Goose. Back in the booth, Anandi leads to Nuno, to Buddha, to Danimator, and Grandy Corvid rounding out the top 6. And there's a big crash. Of course there's a big crash at the hairpin. Sobel getting the better of it, Urist getting pushed down, Gwetzley also losing a few positions with I Stole These Words. Buddha and Danimator shuffled down into 4th and 5th right now. It's Nuno and Nandi for the lead. Nuno's got the lead right now. Corvid taking a
Big lag
slipstream
rocket on the
pass
straight.
on
Yours the
Danimator.
lag rocket on the straight.
And it looks like, what, it was the SCPs, Jiruni and Andrews in around there. Kubo may have caught a bit of it as well.
What happened is Gwetzny and Urist, they just lag rocketed throughout like the straight, so they didn't really get into the sand, they just profited from it, so that's pretty cool.
A little bit of a boost there, maybe going for a fast lap. It looks like Mart Andrews is sitting with the fast lap to start. He must have been in on that rocket as well. Nuno leading Buddha a little bit further back. It's Corvid looking for an FGR podium again, just like his teammate Jiruni did in Central Park. He's double passed by Danimator and Grandy though. Nandi has slipped back. after leading early, and there's a penalty taken from Danimator as he gets kind of pushed off the track a bit. Grandy's into the sand. Oh, it's real sloppy up front. Nuno and Buda are just pulling away, but the rest of the drivers are really having a tough time keeping it on. Corvid pushes through. Namskar is really doing good compared to the red flag race. Kubo pushes Sobel off, and it looks like there's about 5 wide going in that first turn almost. Namskar takes a penalty. There's another lag rocket. It's just insanity in this middle field. Oh my god, Suwasit's punched his way up into 8th place. Grandy's off in the grass again. Pamushis takes a penalty, but seems to lag rocket through it and gets a boost anyway. And he's fighting with Jiruni now for 10th spot. Grandy leading the pack. Jiruni takes him a little bit off the corner, and Grandy touches sand again for about the 10th time in 4 laps. Danimator passing Corvid for 3rd. No, can't get it quite kept onto, but he goes over a switchback, and he almost does it. But it's Corvid sitting in 3rd place right now. Oh no, pass on the inside. There goes Danimator, and we've got the MAYs in a 2-3, and here they go. Makes a mistake, does Danimator. Corvid's into 3rd. Anandi, then Jiruni. The FGR is having a great showing so far in 3rd and 6th. Kubo right behind him as well for 7th. The FLF driver's got to be very happy with that as he returns to a good standing after the red flagged race. He was in a good spot as well. Kato was in dead last at one point before the restart. He's now just behind Suwasit, who's having another banger of a start here for the SCPs. Unfortunately, Guetzli not having as good of a time as he's down in 14th. I got to catch my breath here. What do you see around the track that we haven't seen yet?
I am seeing that I am actually a very happy boss of SCP at the moment because they've had a great start, Suist especially. Guetzli got knocked around a little bit. I've specifically been watching them as, of course, I am their boss. But they're having great stuff from them. Guetzli still making up places to this very moment.
Yeah, Sua's just losing out on 8th place to Sobel, but still sitting in a top 10. Pamusha's right behind him. He's in good company right now, and he's keeping pace well with the best. Some of these big veterans. Suasa, a veteran himself at this point, but battling with Sobel and Pamusha's, incredible stuff. Urus making a little bit back from his unfortunate restart. He was another driver who was in P6, one of the best races of the season for the LYR team captain. Himself and Kraft in 10th and 12th right now. Not horrible for LYR, but they were in a little bit of better position. Danimator, who's just pitted onto fresh softs, is going to have to battle his way through some traffic. Buda leads the race momentarily as he's still on his hards, and Corvid stretching out his mediums as well. Kubo and Jiruni side by side into the pits. It looks like Corvid is taking Buda's slipstream to extend the length of his medium stint. And I gotta say, Nuno's gonna have to be catching them at a very rapid pace right now. Guetzli now in 8th place, battling, using slipstreams to keep his hards in range. He's gonna have to give way to Grandy soon as Nandi battles Urist, looking right behind him. He's touching him. Urist does let him go as he's on the worn out tires. Corvid's now into the pits, and Buda's taking one more lap on those hards. 10 laps on the hards is the baseline, the minimum that it shows on the recommendations. However, you can easily stretch it longer, and Buda's got clean air, so why not? If he's not battling anyone else, Nuno's got 3 seconds to go. He will pass at next pit, but he has a 2-second buffer on Danimator, who is your net 2nd place driver. Corvid makes a mistake, sitting in 4th place still.
Oh, big lag rocket. Jiruni and Guetzli gets knocked back about 2 positions, and Guetzli gets off relatively well. But that was a big lag rocket between the FGR and the SCP.
Just hanging on to that 10th position is Guetzli on the very worn out hards. He's going to be put back in his place as he will have to pit. However, we have another lag rocket situation going on here. Kato does a little bit of it with Urus, gets onto the grass again, or the sand, I should say. I can't believe Kato's luck. Every time I seem to look at him, he's off the track. Kubo slipstreaming him. Kato defending, doing a little bit of weaving Is he able to take the cut? Okay, yeah, it looks like he's got it. He's going to have to give way now because Kubo's going for a pass around the outside of Urist, not able to get it done, and Jiruni's going to slide by almost both of them. Kubo's really, really going to suffer, and Urist is pushed right off the track. Urist loses 5 positions there from an attack. That could be an aggressive pass. I think Sobel was the aggressor on that one, but man, there's not much room to breathe in any section of this course. Kato moving hard. And he still defends to Nomskar, and Nomskar pulls way out. Sobel catches sand. They are just all over each other up at the front. Nuno is having his gap closed by Buddha, who's still on those worn out hards, so I should say he's starting to just gain away from Buddha, as I suspected Buddha to be in. Nuno's going in for his second set of tires by the time Buddha's going in for his third set of tires. Danimator leading for the meantime on the worn out softs. It looks like typical company in the top 5, but Sobel now into that mix as he brings 3 other drivers with them. Kato, Nomskar, and Jiruni, who's going for a pass. Gets it done on Nomskar, can't hold it. Kato's off the track again, into the sand. Nomskar into the sand, and Nandy's going to be able to get by him. Oh my goodness, we've got a big Sobelli train forming here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers nearly in part of this Sobelli train. You'll love to see it. And you love to
May I
see
just
Sabelli
point out
ahead of so many drivers.
How improved Kato is since last time. Of course, last time dwelling around in last, the 16th, now in 8th. So that's a big improvement from the red flag race for Kato.
No driver short of difficulties, of course, but yes, the biggest improvement coming from the RMC driver. It was, of course, the Nuno Kato sandwich at one point, 1st and 18th running. But look at our leader now. Due to, of course, some pit stop issues, it's Corvid, the FGR driver, taking a share of laps led with his teammate Jiruni last race. These guys must love the Danimator tracks. They're both doing very great on them. Jiruni's still in 6th as well for FGR. All the drivers behind Corvid on fresh tires all the way down to Jiruni. So the FGR's on the worn out tires, and Mandy is looking to gain some ground. It's going to be Danimator and Buddha catching Corvid just after Nuno, but Sobel needs to come in for a change as well. Jiruni is in. He's on the mediums. I stole these words past him. Kraft and Suwasid passed him. Suwasid will have to pit for hards as well, but he is back into the top 10. Still giving a really good showing for SCP. Kamusha's sitting well in 7th. He was having a horrible race as well, also sharing a portion of the last position before the red flag. Redemption for some of the stronger drivers, and a little bit of disappointment for some of the typically weaker drivers that were having great races. We do have some of the more standard company in the top right now. Corvid onto fresh sauce, comes out in 5th spot. So he's going to be pushing hard on the back of Nandy, who already has quarter-worn tires. And
we are going to have a rain.
Does not come back. He got screwed by the rain in the first race.
That is amazing for Gwetsley, flying high in 6th with worn hards.
For Gwetsley?
Suas, sorry, wrong SCP.
For Suwasid, yes, that's it, yes. He has a great turn of events there. Suwasid is going to be in 6th position. Incredible luck for him. Corvid gets the other end of the stick there. He's out onto his wets in 5th place, and he's going to have to work a lot to get that time back, chasing down Mandy. So, it is our leaders of the season standings, Nuno, then Buddha, then Danimator. They are in a slightly different order of that in the standings. Danimator's ahead of Buddha in the drivers. But then we have Nandy, who is in 4th in the driver's standings, and then Nomskar is in 5th in the driver's standings, but Corvid holds the position. Nomskar has been pushed down to 10th spot. He must have had a pit error as well, or a pit complication on the rain, because I think he was driving a lot higher up in the order there. As Jiruni goes for a little bit of a dive bomb. So I stole these words, not able to get it done. I stole these words off into the gravel, makes a mistake, and all 3 drivers get by him just like that. He's down into 10th spot. Suwasid, incredibly, 4 and 3 seconds either side of a driver in 6 bodies. Gotta be loving life right now as Danimator slipstreams his teammate Buddha. Can they work together to catch Nuno, or will they get stuck battling each other?
Also, not very good stuff from Pimu and Guetzli. Both of those being the only drivers that haven't gone to the wets. They must be leaving. They must be losing a lot of time, especially Guetzli. I don't know how he is.
He's changed. He never changed on to wets at all, or inters then. He's been on the mediums this whole time. That's the big mistake from Guetzli. That'll toss his race away, unfortunately. Promucius loves to risk those inters, and they have been improved as of recent, but it didn't work this time, and he's going to catch a little bit of gravel there too. Kubo and Grandy in 16th position. I can't believe it. Grandy having a really tough race as far as luck goes as well here. The NTH is running 16 and 17 as Andrews is in for the Anti-Amazing, of course. Buddha, Danimator, still running 2-3. Not quite catching Nuno, but they have closed the gap a little bit. Just over 2 seconds to go to the Portuguese 4-time champion. Nandi still running in 4th, Corvid in 5th, Suwasid in 6th. The track is starting to dry. Nauskar and Jiruni battle each other, and look at this. We have emerging back into the top 10, the Lynx Racings. Eurist and Kraft are back into the top 10. It's amazing to see them doing so well 2 races in a row. The restart really hurt Eurist specifically. He was in P6 or P7 at the time of the crash. So they'll be really quite pleased to bridge that gap. The track should be dry in 2 laps time. You'll see them coming in 2 laps. Oh, that's the race. It's a sprint, and it's over. They ended on the wet tires. Nuno is the victor. My God, it's a quick race when it's a sprint. Suwasid coming in for an incredible P6, a career best for Suwasid, and he's doing donuts in the straightaway. Jiruni in 7th. Oh, and there he goes. There's no stopping the Suwasid donuts. What a GOAT move from the SCP driver. He nailed the range strategy, and there are celebrations afoot in the Scuderia Pericaro garage tonight, you best believe it. What a brilliant drive from the veteran Suwasid. And what an end to that race.
You beauty! Someone's getting a raise.
Celebrating.
Someone's getting a raise.
Andrews brings it home ahead of Guetzli. And there we have it, folks. With relative ease, it's Nuno taking the win for Rapid Motorsport Collective. 2.88 seconds ahead of the fastest lap taker for the day. It's Danimator in 2nd, Buddha in 3rd, to Hernandez 4th. Your top 4 drivers in the driver's standings stay just as they were into the results screen. Corvid takes a 5th for Fox and Goose. That is a personal best for him. Suwasid also with a personal best. It's his 6th